I don't know about you, but I'm hearing lots of complaints from family and friends, acquaintances. I overhear people talking in the grocery store, maybe in the doctor's office, and I'm seeing lots of health issues that a majority of them can be controlled by our diet. And I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, but, and maybe you're like me, that there are people in your life that you know who have issues. And when you try to talk about food, they kind of shy away because there are foods that they like and they just want to eat them. And that's just it. Well, that's what this video is about. It's about if you don't have an awareness of what you're placing into your body, that maybe this might be that awareness. And I'm no doctor, I'm no dietitian, I've not studied science as a degree or health with a degree, but I have paid attention to it over the course of my life. And I am one, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too, actually, with my recent surgery and not being able to be as active as I've been in the past. I've gained several pounds and it's very disappointing. But we all make mistakes. We all have our issues. We all have our setbacks. But let's start trying to make a difference in our choices. And maybe a little bit of the information that I share today, and I highly recommend that you start doing research on your own so you know it for yourself versus just hearing someone speak about it. But we can make a difference in our health and we can make a difference in our lives. Typically, when I do cooking demonstrations, I will talk about the food that I'm using and what the benefits are to them. And it's not possible for me to list every single benefit of the food that I'm using, but they are whole plants. So there are tons of benefits in sticking to a plant based diet. And I understand there are people watching me, including family, friends, who aren't plant based, and that's okay. But maybe this information might just kind of promote or ignite a change in the diet. So, one of the things that changed my diet was learning about certain things and food. And I knew I began to pursue veganism once I left home and went to college and just started kind of paying attention to the food and reading up on things about what's in food. And that kind of gave me my kickstart. So, one of the first things that I learned about was MSG. And if you're not familiar with MSG, I think everyone should have heard of MSG by now. It's been out there for a very long time. There are tests that were done over the course of years about the negative impact that it has on the body. And as more and more people are becoming more knowledgeable about foods, companies are beginning to replace, and they've already done it, but some are still using it. So some of your savory and salty snacks, you'll find some of your favorites. One of my favorites when I was a child has it, and it's still in it, and people still buy it, and it's still one of the top brands out there, top chips out there. And it's disappointing that with all of the information that's out in the internet, that people still will buy it. But if you're unfamiliar with MSG, monosodium glutamate, um, it does kill brain cells. It can leave a film on your brain. It can cause all types of inflammation and issues in the body. It actually, in high dosages, have killed lab rats during testing. So it is a killer to our bodies. And why are people still buying it? Again, people are becoming more in tune with labels. But as you become more in tune with labels, the food companies get more in tune themselves. And so they will switch things out or rename them a certain thing. So it doesn't raise any red flags with you. So, what has replaced MSG? Yeast extract. And just like MSG, I can remember as a kid having a product, and I think it's still on the market by the name of Accent. And I loved it. Um, it made everything taste great. And that's what MSG does. It gives you this pleasure in the brain that you love and you like what you're eating. It also increases your appetite and makes you want more of it. So the more you consume, the more toxic it is for your body. So yeast extract, just like MSG in the beginning, was kind of touted as just this great flavor enhancer, makes food taste good. So right now, yeast extract is getting the benefit of the doubt that it's, great. There's been some tests on it and it doesn't really cause any issues, but they say if you have hypertension, you don't want to eat it. If you have certain allergies, you don't want to eat it. Why not use salt? Just plain salt. So many different varieties of salt, from Himalayan salt, sea salt, kosher salt, table salt, um, iodinized salt. I know vegans typically steer clear of that one just by the process that it undergoes, but they're all different types of salt. So why use something that's so heavily processed to season our foods? Because they're into selling food and they want to make it taste good. They want to send off the endorphins in your brain to make you want to eat it, buy it more, and eat more. So, yeast extract, I do steer clear of yeast extract. It doesn't matter how much they tell me, it doesn't impact the body negatively. It's just something that I know has been a replacer for MSG. They also liken it to MSG and they say it's a lighter version of it. And then some foods will create glutamate naturally. And so they try to jump on that bandwagon of, well, there are certain foods, depending on how long you cook it and what you do to it, it does increase the glutamate in it. Well, okay, that's a natural food, and I can get into the raw subject of how it's best to consume foods in their raw state and form. That is premier for our bodies. But when you go through a scientific process to create something, that's a little different than me just cooking tomatoes down and there's additional glutamate that's produced or comes from that cooking process. A little different. Um, there are studies shown that anytime we do cook foods, it is cancer causing. So, especially when they brown. And it's so interesting, like states like California, you walk into restaurants and they have it right there by the door, consuming foods that have been browned, like French fries or, toast. They name certain foods right on it. I don't know if that's changed since the last time I was in California, but they place it right on the restaurant door. They place it in a lot of areas where you purchase foods that are prepared. And they have to tell you. And yet, it's overrun with people standing in the line to consume that food. Even though they know and they're made aware that it can cause cancer, we still consume it, we still eat it. And I've tried the raw diet. It's difficult. You have to have time to prepare your foods, but hats off to the people who do it. Wow. I actually had a friend who not only went raw, but she began sprouting her foods, allowing them to regenerate. And it was amazing. She had gray hair, and she started to show me where her hair was going from gray back to her natural color. So she had sections of her hair where it was the hair color, like her normal color, there was gray, and then her hair was starting to grow out again, her natural color. That was amazing. And that stemmed from sprouting her foods and eating raw. So, raw foods, fruits and vegetables are amazing. There is so much that we can do for our health by consuming them. So, why aren't more people on the bandwagon? Because certain things taste good and we want to be happy with our food. We want to be happy with how we feel about eating our food. But if you're eating those foods that make you happy all the time, do you notice that they kind of make you miserable? Because after you eat it, you may have feelings of guilt of why did I eat that? Why did I consume that? I should have known better. Do you go through that process? And if you do, again, start somewhere. Start decreasing your sugar amounts. Even if you're consuming lots of sodium, sodium's not good. Start decreasing, start looking at the labels at how much sodium is in something, which causes hypertension and a host of other issues. Read your labels. If there are words in the label that you cannot pronounce, why consume it? Don't eat it. If you make the change in your diet and more people do it, the companies will be forced to create foods that are healthier for us. But because no one's going to buy everything that they're selling immediately, there's the need for preservatives, dyes, all these things that are just not good for our bodies. It's plain and simple not good. So I'm hoping to see more people in the produce section and looking at the organics food when you're in the produce section, doing research about the dirty dozen and why you don't want to consume those, learning about how even fruits and vegetables are treated. And even though organic isn't perfect, it's a start. It's a move in the right direction. Refined products are another one. So many products are created to make you like them and to want to buy them. So that refining process is unhealthy for our bodies. So all of the white breads, even white rice, there's no health benefit. There's no fiber content. It's just calories. And what does calories or carbohydrates, an overabundance of them in our bodies, it turns into sugar, becomes a fat, because maybe we're not as active as we should be. The refined products are also super unhealthy for us. Refined flours, the refinement of sugar, sugar, period. Look up sugar, how much sugar the average American gets in their diet and what our intake should be. It is outrageous. And that's because, just like the MSG, to make you like the food, sugars are added. Oh boy, the big one, high fructose corn syrup. It acts as an exocidant on the brain, makes you happy and want to eat it, makes it, oh, so delicious. But what does it do to your body? It kills you. It's killing you. All of these foods are killing you. And the thing is, you're paying money to be killed. Why? Why are we doing this? Why? And we're paying an overabundance of money to the healthcare system to heal us. O physician, heal thyself. Heal thyself, I say. Why are we not healing ourselves? And it's so simple. Fruits, vegetables, plants, nuts, whole nuts. And not a lot of them, because again, everything in moderation. But we can help ourselves. Even if You say, wow, I can't do it completely cold turkey. Yes, there's a lot of chemicals probably in your body, and you're going to go through some withdrawals. You're going to have headaches. You may be mean and cranky to someone, to your family. But once you break out of that toxicity, you're going to start feeling better. And you're going to say, wow, I feel really good. I have energy. I don't need coffee as a pick me up or that pick me up sugar at 3 p.m. during the day that spikes your energy. And then, whoa, a deep, sharp dive down. And then you're super tired. And it's just a repetitive cycle. We place these things in our body gets super excited and trying to get the toxins out, and it's fighting and trying to help you. And then it gets tired and you're so beat. And then you do it again. Oh, let me help my body. Let me take this energy shot, this coffee, this whatever it is that's going to give you energy, sugar. And it does. And you think that it's helping you, and it is devastating your cells, your kidneys, your body. It's wreaking havoc. And we just do it day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. And then we wonder why we have to go to the doctor and we're sick. It's really sad. Other foods, partially hydrogenated oils. Oh my gosh, how toxic they are for your body. There are studies, and again, please do look these things up. There are studies about how it clogs the arteries. It can scratch the interior lining of our arteries, allowing plaque to collect. And from there, again, issues develop. There are just a host of issues from it causing um, depression and Alzheimer's and um, dementia. There we go. So many issues that stem from consuming that. And it's in a lot of our foods. A lot of our foods. Get familiar with what's on the label and what you're placing into your body. Even when we think we're doing something healthy for ourselves, like using different oils, canola oils, and seed oils. And there are studies that show there are certain aspects about them that are healthy or supposedly healthy, but a lot of them can cause inflammation in the body, which inflammation is a start to other issues, which actually I'm starting to read reports of them acknowledging that inflammation is a silent killer because it leads to so much negative impact. I hope this little fireside chat as friends promotes you to start reading labels, researching foods. Again, if you cannot pronounce it, why is it going in your body? This might also be a kick to start growing your own fruits and vegetables, the ones that you can in your zone. Look into that. You know, if you have a balcony, maybe you live in an apartment. What about a little small planter area? Maybe just growing tomatoes during the summer. You know, maybe looking at some of the hacks of how to grow vegetables during the winter with a little storage tub. There are so many different ways that we can help ourselves. And we should do it. We can't just sit back and complain. We can't just keep destroying our bodies and expecting the best. What about if I gave you just a, a vat of sludge and I suggested that you put it in your oil tank of your car or put it in your gas tank? You would literally think I were crazy. And you would say, absolutely not. I'm not going to do that to my car. My car won't start. My car won't work. That would damage my car. And I'm going to have thousands of dollars worth of repairs to fix it. Do you see my logic? Why are we putting sludge into our bodies and requiring thousands of dollars to repair ourselves? When if we just make the right decisions in the beginning, and again, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I make wrong decisions too. But the more decisions we make in the right direction, the better we are. The less we're going to complain about feeling stiff, our arms not moving well, or later in life. Because right now, I tell my son all the time, you can eat those things, but as you get older, it will have an impact on you. I will never forget a reading I did years ago, which a doctor stated every year you either have a healthier body or a less healthy body. By the foods we choose to place in our body, our cells can either become healthier and stronger and illness resistant, or they mutate and become weaker and, for lack of a better word, defective. And disease happens and forms. And one final note before I go, it's amazing that even with our pets' health, there are advertisements about giving our pets whole grains, whole foods. And we will do that for our pets. We love them. But what about ourselves? What about our bodies? We get one body, one life. Shouldn't we do the best for it so we can live healthier, feel stronger, feel better, not go through withdrawals because we didn't have a Coca-Cola or because we didn't get that salt? I hope you will join me again. I hope you found this just an interesting conversation, one that will make a change or help you to start making a change in your diet, in your life, in your food choices. So, wherever you are at your walk, at your stage, you're you. Be happy with the you that you are and just take steps, maybe one day at a time, just to make one change. Maybe make one change in a week and try to get to 21 days. Once you do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. So we all have to start somewhere. We want our family and friends to be healthy and happy. I want you to be healthy and happy too. Let's do it together. Let's make that start and let's see the outcome. Don't get disappointed. Don't give up if you make a mistake. We all do it. Have a great day. I hope you join me again.